I bought that PlayStation VR 2 so I could slap Lady D on the ass.
Vor, Sonic, you like that? Vor?
Leave me alone, being
Shut up.
I hate not having people to punch.
Huh?
My fists, they hunger.
Let's calm down. This is my episode now, Kombat boys. Me, it's all about me. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I think my lizard form came out of there. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Kombat Kings podcast. This is the most exciting episode that I could be on. Personally, I'm all like, Snake wanted me to get the reptile costume, but I can't because I'm in Paris. So obviously I can't just like bring that over here. I do have something else though.
I did have a bit planned where I was thinking, wouldn't it be funny if Sonic was like, oh sorry, I can't have the reptile costume because I'm on holiday. And I was like, don't worry, Sonic. I got a costume because I was going to buy one just for that bit. The problem was it would have taken about 3 or 4 weeks to arrive, so it wouldn't have arrived in time. So unfortunately,
it's expensive too. Honestly, would you want to make that expense? I was barely going to buy the Ermac one because of how expensive it was.
You really underestimate how much I'm willing to spend to do a bit. I bought that PlayStation VR 2 so I could slap Lady D on the ass.
That's it? You didn't buy that for like other games or Half-Life?
Like I'm willing to spend like a whole bunch to get stuff like this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is true. Yeah. To be fair though, I actually spend a lot of money on my own videos too. The commission artworks, you know, the ones that my fans look forward to.
Yeah,
those are nice models.
That goes into
my videos.
Claim as expensive. It's towards making more profit. This is I just like Saber in Japanese clothing, whether it's Saber or Saber
True. So I don't have a reptile costume, but I got this freaking awesome
that looks
dope T-shirt. It's a 95 version of Reptile. You can see like.
Man, that's one of those rare shirts that you could wear at school and you wouldn't get beat up for being a nerd because it's so cool. So the bully still can't hurt you.
You get beat up for being a scaly.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, I don't think my age group even knew that was a thing, so you'd still be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know
Scalies are not.
Remember,
are rare.
We are on the older side. We're not.
You guys are.
So,
me? I'm younger than you, dog. Sensei.
No, you just moisturize really well.
Oh, okay. I'll take that. Hey, recently I had to go buy some stuff in Amsterdam that I won't be saying on YouTube because we're going to be demonetized. And
weed.
They demanded my passport. I'm like, you need my passport? Yeah, we got to prove you're 18. Thanks, but also what the?
I mean,
kind of adorable.
You do look about 16.
Oh my god.
You do look very young.
I gotta
grow
the beard. I gotta
trust
the beard
me,
now.
There's going to be a time when you're sad that you no longer get carded. I walked up to a bar in an airport the other day to come back from Vegas, and nobody carded me. I just sat down and got my drink, which means I now definitely look old. If I shave, though, I time travel, which is an interesting fact.
That is true.
Every man has his power. Yeah.
Men have that power.
When I shave, I look like I'm in my 20s.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
But when I don't, I'm just...
Someday, we'll... Excited to see that someday. Then.
I'm kind of surprised that Sonic, you don't carry around your reptile costume everywhere, kind of like your Batman suit. That way, in case you're needed.
My Batman suit. Just so you know, because we are traveling for a very long time, I have a limited amount of clothes I can bring. I've been wearing like a lot of the same clothes, like the same 8 clothes basically. So you'll see them in my vlog when I release them, and it is like a lot of my own merch. But also, I did bring like this awesome Reptile T-shirt. I also brought your shirt too, dogs. You're gonna see a lot of purple pictures of me with your awesome T-shirt too.
Normalize men wearing purple.
I love the idea of Sonic going on this like month-long holiday all around Europe, just wearing his own and dogs' merchandise so he can show the respective channels.
I'm wearing the I'm wearing like dogs merchandise, doing like the pose in front of like the amazing Greek buildings and whatnot. I'm an Instagram girl now.
We need to get some Kombat Kings merch going in time for your next holiday. Then you can go around just wearing that. It's like, yeah, I'm promoting the podcast with the URL on the back.
be
We
pretty
could do
easy
that
to
someday.
do.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. It'd be
Because
easy
I
to
find
do a
that
combo
hilarious. The
shit.
idea of it's like as like a joke. It's like, here's how much I'm shelling this thing and wearing on my t-shirt. The URL is on the back. I love that idea. 'Cause it's so over the top. Because
Yep.
you know someone like Influencer Man in LA would do that unironically.
Oh, there was
Yeah.
about actually maybe 3 years ago at least. It was that combo breaker, and there was a certain YouTuber who did that in our sphere. He's one of the NetherRealm YouTubers,
Cool.
It's not
and I
the
don't
guy
want to
who's been
say
causing shit
who.
recently, is it?
No,
The guy's been
and I
oh,
no.
Okay.
And I don't want to
we
say
got it.
that's why I don't want to say anything because this person's actually nice, but they did sure enough have their channel on the back of their hoodie, and I was like,
I kind of like that. I like that idea, honestly.
yeah, but I feel like
the
you only do
hustle.
that when you're big. This guy was like still up and coming, you know, and
I mean,
he's
it's
actually
kinda like
fallen
how
off,
you play-
unfortunately.
Oh,
Oh, it's kind of like when you play
we should get
online
him on the
games.
podcast then.
Okay.
Hey, we should boost him up. It's like when you play online games and then it's like, oh, you've been eliminated by XXX Super Reptile Fan 69XXX. But at the end they do like a /Twitch. So you know, oh, this guy's live streaming. Whoa, I got killed on this live stream or something like that.
Nice,
Where did
nice.
Snake go?
He's doing something. He's putting his waifus
Did he
back,
get
I think.
banished? Oh my gosh, he got banished, guys. He's been banished.
Yeah.
Such on theme. I'm so touched.
I do want to say this. I'm very impressed that NetherRealm manages to fit that trailer around a verb and not even like a faction. It's just everyone who's been banished.
Yeah, actually,
It's not even
I
like
like that too.
yeah.
It's like the three characters don't have that many similarities except that they are all banished. So that is actually
Yeah.
is kind of fun.
As
But
opposed to
before
Lin
we get
Kuei,
into
which
the
are a
hype
clan.
Ass trailer that y'all are here to listen
Before we
to
get
us
into the
talk
good
about.
stuff, let's talk about the
Before we get into the
obligatory
good-
stuff.
Yeah, let's get into the obligatory stuff. The Keeper of Time trailer. I mean, we didn't really talk about the Lin Kuei one either. Do you guys have anything to say about the Lin Kuei? If you want to,
Wait, we're
unstable
talking about
internet
these first?
connection. That's fine.
Shouldn't
If
we
you're still
get-
recording, it should be fine.
No, it looks fine. Shouldn't we still get straight to the good shit, the new shit?
No.
Oh,
No. But
Well,
that's
it's your guys'
afterwards. You got to
podcast.
stick to the end for that. Do you guys want to just very, very briefly to gloss over the Lin Kuei trailer? I have like 4 things I want to say, and that's it. So basically, like one
I think
sentence things.
I'd say Your Lone Fell seemed like a good fit for Smoke. That's good.
I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's here. He's fun.
I like everything about that trailer. Yeah, go ahead.
Smoke looks good. I get what they're going for with the Lin Kuei uniforms, where it's all exactly the same. But I wish there was just a little more customization to it, like almost like an anime where like they're all wearing the same school uniform, but they'll customize it in different ways, or wear like one might wear a hoodie under the blazer and stuff like that. Something like that, just to make them a bit more distinct.
I like everything about the design except the mask, which is ironic because that's the one thing that makes him unique. And I get what they're going for because my dad's a firefighter. So that is absolutely what a smoke mask looks like, but it still looks goofy to me. During gameplay, it looks fine sometimes. From that side profile though, man, looking mad goofy. Like it looks like a little long snout that he has, like almost with a hole at the bottom. But that's what
Why-
alternates are for, you know? So you can wear different
would-
stuff.
Why would Smoke need a smoke mask if he is Smoke?
He's not. He has no powers anymore. He had to learn magic.
It's about that, yeah. Like he made. Well, I don't know, because he can freaking fly in a tornado. Doesn't that kind of still count?
Yeah, that's just magic.
It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
so you're
the-
saying he
the
can't,
idea,
like-
the idea that he can manipulate smoke, but he would still fucking cough and die of smoke inhalation.
He still has those human lungs. Weak human lungs.
It's like imagine a version of the Human Torch who's like flame on, and then he burns to death because he has the power,
Yeah, yeah.
but he can't survive. Like what?
The more I think about it, the more I do think it's just a fashion choice. I bet there's a skin where he's going to be maskless. I bet there's a skin where he has a different type of mask. I think it's
yeah.
just a fashion choice, honestly.
I mean, I'm sure they're all gonna. I'm sure they'll all have like mask and unmasked. I mean, Reptile has a mask in his concept in his artwork, but like in the trailer, we don't see it at all.
I actually would love to see those costumes too in the game. And it seems like the game, especially in this trailer, in that coronation scene, you see a lot of characters wearing those little goofy outfits. But unlike in Mortal Kombat 11, where you see like Liu Kang and Kung Lao wearing like the Oshtek costume that's like not usable, it seems like these will be in the game that are playable this time. And
I hope so.
because there is a part where you see like one of them being a cameo fighter. That's yeah. But we'll get into that like in just a bit. I'll say something about Smoke. I think the design is good, but I think his previous design looks still better in my opinion. Like his MK9 design, in my opinion. Well, I mean, there's there's the one without hair and there's the one with hair. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just me. I want to see more, and we'll see. But I want to say I'm very disappointed in the trailer with Smoke because, dude, whoever's playing Smoke can't combo. You can barely see anything he's doing in the game. He just keeps like tiny 1, 2, 3 combos and drops it. Like, I want to see a long combo in that trailer. It's like I can't really be hyper Smoke if I don't know like what he can really do.
That's actually very classic NetherRealm. Like they'll show very doable combos and stuff in the trailers. Unless we're talking Ashra, we'll get to it. But like, she did a straight like 10-second long combo that didn't drop.
Too and stuff like that. And that's the same thing with like Rain. Rain literally shows up, uses his moves for like 5 seconds, and we never see him ever use another move until like not even like in the recent trailers. That's all we ever see him use in that 5-second clip in Lin Kuei. I want to see more Rain, dude. Come on.
Yeah. And don't forget the most important thing about the Lin Kuei trailer, the mysterious off-screen voice.
Which is still not confirmed who it is yet. It's not Reiko. It's not Geras, even though it's the same voice actor. And it's like, who is it then? Yeah, we still don't know. It is very interesting. Yeah, I agree. That's all I got. Oh, wait.
No. When you say it's Geras, you mean it's the old voice actor or the current one?
No, it's not Geras. Like the guy on Twitter who's like the...
Yeah, but I mean, when people say it sounds like Geras, do they mean the old one or the new one?
The old one.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You didn't
the
recast
Lin
that.
Kuei, we have been expecting you. That is the old Geras' voice, the old Shao Kahn's voice.
I don't know, because it doesn't really sound like him to me.
You can do a comparison. You can be like, yeah, that is him. People are very certain it's him.
It's also not Havik. We know that because we finally heard Havik, so...
Yeah. It's not Havik, not Reiko, yeah.
It's just weird to think that they might have kept the actor in playing a different character while they've recast the character. On a related note, a similar note, is that while he's not back as the announcer, Jameson Price is confirmed to be back as Ermac.
Yeah, I did see that. So that's
Nice.
cute. That's nice.
My last video is about how in the video before that, people pointed out that it looks like Quan Chi shows up in the Reptile trailer, but he's in that weird like coronation outfit, like he's trying to sneak in or something.
That was an interesting catch, yeah.
That shows that maybe the DLC for Combat Pack, like at least the Mortal Kombat characters, could show up in story mode, which means that we have been expecting you could actually be Ermac.
Wow, that's actually a really good theory. We have been expecting you.
Before it was like a whatever theory, like, oh, it's not gonna happen. But now that we've seen Quan Chi's actually there in story mode.
So the Lin Kuei trailer, there is a lot we can talk about, but I think it's old news, so I think we should just jump to the next one. One last thing I'll say though. Some people, I'm looking forward to seeing Rain, even though I know Ninja Rain is what everyone loves, but I mean, Mage Rain could be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't want to see these water particles. I want to see more Rain. Jeez, we only see like 5 seconds of him in that freaking trailer, and that's it.
One of the theories I have for why Rain is a mage now is because the Assassin Rain thing. They're like, well, if we do that, we can't add Hydro of the Lin Kuei. Whereas
I've heard about that. Yeah,
we could add
that's
him
a cute theory.
if Rain gets a new style.
Our boy Geras Tam now. Yeah, Geras Tam.
He's natty. He's off the steroids. I noticed that. He's more natty looking.
I'll let you guys go first. Like, what do you guys have to say about the Geras or even the trailer itself?
Looks overpowered as hell, gameplay wise. Like he looks
he
good.
Has 2 minutes of gameplay too. Wow, isn't that amazing? You showed 2 minutes of it where 5 seconds of Rain.
He looks so good. His parry, his projectile parry that freezes you is absurdly strong. He's Sub-Zero now, but instead of having to trade fireballs with you, he just gets to be where you are after freezing you in time.
There is something that they've that some people noticed is that at certain points, you notice you only see him wearing one outfit the whole time.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The chest and back pieces do seem to change between shots, which does suggest there will be a degree of customization because those were his gear pieces in the last game. So. That does seem to be something that is going to be here. So the question is, will all those costumes from the story mode be costumes, or will they be gear?
Geras is a very interesting choice out of all those characters because that's a big lore implication character in this game. And like my favorite thing and the most interesting thing about the entire trailer is the very beginning where Liu Kang's like, Geras, my friend. And it's like, okay, that's already very different because Geras is nothing but a jobber really in throughout MK11. But here, it seems like he has more of like a thing to do. He's more like some people are saying he's like maybe a neutral alliance. He's also one of the only characters who knows what happens in the previous timeline, the gap between MK11 and this game. So So like I do think it's interesting choice-wise and maybe lore-wise for Geras to be the pick that they had for like the NRS character to be in this game. So I'm interested in the lore parts. Other than that, I'm okay-ish. Like this, yeah. Like I'm happy for the dozen of people who like Geras to see it come back, I guess.
All the people who want to play top tier and win are very excited because he was a dominant force, and that seems to have not changed.
Looks like it's gonna be that again.
It's not going to happen, but I want one scene, or at least someone to make this as a joke comic or something, where Geras is by himself, unsure what to do, like, I want to help Liu Kang in the new era, but I'm not quite sure. And he just turns toward a skull with Kronika's crown, 'cause it's like her skull, and he goes, what do you think, Kronika?
What's so funny is when I saw the Geras trailer, people were like, oh my gosh, Geras looks so much better. He's like hot now. It's like, yo, it's like amazing. And I'm like comparing. I'm like, first off, it's like almost exactly the same. And then it's just less buff, and I feel like he looks a little younger compared to MK11, and that's it. But people are like, "Oh my gosh, he's hot now. He actually looks good now." I'm like, no, he looks the same. Really?
I think it's
Like,
because
okay.
there's something about his face in 11 where you could tell he was an automaton. There was kind of like these like jagged bits, a bit almost like a bit polygonal. I feel, whereas I feel like now he doesn't really. His face is a lot smoother. He looks more natural, which could be an aspect of Liu Kang reconstructed him. Probably not. He's probably just what they decided to do.
Style, really. Yeah, I think it's aesthetic thing because MK1 and MK11.
I mean,
feel like art style is really different.
They're definitely trying to make everybody hot. Like even Havik, they've toned it down.
We'll get there. We'll get there too. But yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. Yeah. Can we get to the hype trailer now? Can we get to the hype trailer?
The other thing is that.
Okay.
So Geras in this game is played by Phil Lamar now, who was Kotal in the last 2 games. So
yeah,
he may be inheriting the in a wheelchair meme. Geras in a wheelchair. We'll have to see. Do you know Countess Jade?
Yeah, the meme.
Do you think she's married to Count Kotal? Can you imagine if we don't see Kotal or Jade at all in the story, and then it's like, okay, season 1 of the DLC is over, now here's the story expansion that's going to have those characters plus more, and then it's like the first trailer is like Kotal and Jade walk out hand in hand, and then the reactions on Twitter are, OMG, Yas Queen, she
something
is
like
female
that.
And exists, therefore hot, because that's what Twitter does.
Anyways, guys, are we gonna get to the meat? The topic, the hype.
Hang on. They didn't announce meat for this game. Okay, so what else can we use to like push this topic back? I can't think of anything.
I had a weird nightmare.
Snake. Are you gonna betray your own kind, Snake? No, sorry, my lizard form came out again.
Serena was in this trailer.
Yes, it's in the trailer too, so we can talk about it. How about we start from the beginning, right, guys? The beginning.
How much can we edge Sonic and not let him finish? Just not let him release all his energy.
You've edged me since yesterday. Sort of like the beginning of the trailer and kind of work our way through.
Ashra shows up right at the start, and
okay, so I'm gonna start with a very neutral take, like just kind of like an introduction to Reptile, and then because I'll be honest, if I really wanted to, we could do 2 episodes just on Reptile alone, but we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna hold back a bit. I'm gonna just talk about what we got. So first off, we got human Reptile. That's been a thing that people have rumored, have said for years and years and years.
Human
and
feet.
Honestly, and feet, yes, we got feet reveal for Reptile. Thank you. And the thing is, it's like whenever I hear human Reptile, my first initial thought is always just like, okay, yeah, he's human, but it's always a human disguise. Underneath, he's still a lizard man. He's a Zetarian. That's human Reptile that we all want, basically. Like, okay, fine. But it's like, I think some people really just did actually want like pure human Reptile, which is insane. You're insane. People who ever think of that, like, you should go to an insane asylum. But anyways, we got that, sort of. But it is a very new depiction of Reptile. It's not like he's human and he can just take off a mask and become Zetarian. He's like he's a shapeshifter, a druid, like a werewolf, where he can actually turn forms, essentially. He can turn from his natural form to his lizard form. And this is definitely a very new thing that he's done. He's never been able to do something like this drastically changed before. By the way, did you catch on to like what Johnny says? So it's like, so you can shapeshift into anything. I can shape from this form to my natural form. But that also kind of implies, well, Did they get their ass kicked by Shang Tsung, and that's why he said that? So you're a shapeshifter, you can shape into anything you want. I'm curious if that's like a little bit of a Shang Tsung
That'd be
tease there,
interesting.
there.
Yeah,
Could be. They're locked in the flesh pits, so I mean, yeah. But so far the reception I've seen with this new Reptile is very positive. People have casual fans seem to really like it. But there are some backlashes I've seen because some people will be like, I want my Zetarian. I want my hybrid, basically.
Well, that's
I'm not a big fan of the lizard form and stuff like that. There have been negatives, but I think a majority of people have been more positive towards new Reptile. And I'm gonna give it to you guys. I have my gigantic opinion I will say later, but that's a neutral opinion first. What do you guys think about new Reptile? How you feeling?
Well, I think for a start, people need to calm the fuck down about the whole not having a lizard boy. That's obviously going to be some alternate costumes. And
I hope too. Yeah, I really do hope so. That is, yeah.
And if they have alternates like skins, like the colors, like they had in MK11, half of them are going to be lizard boy. You can just tell. Like that's going to happen. Like every costume, if they do that, every costume will have a lizard boy variant. But we're going to get at least a few that are like that. I'm wondering if they're going to give him a costume at some point based on the lizard from Spider-Man. Because transform into the lizard, and the lizard form itself, I know it's based on the 2021 movie version, but it looks a lot like the lizard.
It does.
It does. It really does. Okay, so I was going to get into this later on about Reptile because I had two things. I was like, if they add these two things, bro, this is like best Reptile ever. Give him a skin that actually is just like a Zetarian lizard. I forget MKX Reptile like that or something like that. Don't just do a really lazy job and just be like, oh, paint him green. No, that's so lazy. Don't do that. But like actually give him like a Zetarian skin, and then awesome. You're actually making like a lot of people happy with that. And the other thing is give us customizations, not just for his human part, but his lizard form too. Like either let us have his like head, because his head is not exactly like a 2021 version. Give him like make it look like that, or like you said, like Dr. Connors, make him look more like that, or just be able to change the head or something like that, or just I don't know. Give him a cowboy hat. I want funky,
I would give him a hat.
That kind of stuff.
Let him give the lizard a hat.
Yeah, like Killer Instinct. It's like you got like the Riptor, like the Raptor. She's got like a cheerleading costume, or like Saberwolf. He can wear like a Christmas hat and stuff like that. I want that with my lizard form. I think that'd be freaking awesome. Do something like that.
I kind of hope that no matter what, even if like the lizard form can't be changed, it would still be a nice touch if like you change the color of the outfit and his lizard form changes slightly to match the color of the outfit. So if you're doing player 2, for example, and you're a slightly different green, I want the Zetarian to also be a slightly different shade of green to match the...
I think they would need to do, at least have like an alternate color for player 2 colors, just because if two people turn into lizard form at the same time...
That's what I meant.
Oh, different color lizardy boy. Oh, okay, I like that. That's true.
The easy option is just that player 2 is like a more blue tinted.
Mm-hmm.
And then
or like,
I think more of just like a deep green for player 1 or something.
Yeah.
But hopefully there will be more options. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a red lizard version.
Yeah.
Like
mobile game.
Yeah, Saurian, yeah. Or all sorts of colors. Because he's a fucking lizard. There are more colors for lizards.
You can do that.
You can do that.
Since we're talking about the costume designs and stuff too, one really nice touch that I enjoy is he's got a bunch of keys on him. Reptile.
I've noticed that too.
Which implies he's the go-to rescue man for the good guys. Like he breaks everyone out of prison. That's like his job.
I disagree with that. Well, okay, we don't know exactly why.
He's a sneaky guy who like gets into stuff. Like he can turn invisible, go behind enemy lines, and unlock chests and shit. He's got a bunch of skeleton keys. It looks like to me.
Let me give my theory here because I was gonna talk about this later, but whatever. I'll talk about it now because you brought it up.
Oh.
He has the keys on the side of his like pockets.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also another thing that interests me too, because just today, because we delayed our podcast, just today his bio came out, which I would say I don't think it adds too much, except I think bullied mercilessly.
Lizard boy can't say human words.
he was bullied mercilessly.
He's a lizard. He's a lizard.
That motherfucker is not real. He is not real.
I can't say it. I've been saying it successfully before. Okay, whatever. I just think that was kind of funny, just seeing that out of context.
Ironically, he can't say bullied mercilessly, and we are bullying him mercilessly for it.
No mercy.
Mercilessly.
Just say with no mercy. Bullied without mercy.
There we go. Bullied mercilessly. There we go. I got it right. And I just thought that was funny. But I think now it's more funny that I couldn't say that. But in every bio, each character has like a title. If you notice, like it says Raiden, Champion of Earthrealm, Kung Lao, I don't know, Warrior with Hopes and Dreams. Some of them are pretty funny. And there's a lot of these. For Reptile, it says Zetarian Slave.
Oh.
What? That sounds really weird. It's like, where in the trailer do we see it? He runs away from his clan the moment he gets bullied. It's not like he's like a slave or something like that.
It's interesting that the slavery part isn't even mentioned in his bio. His bio is about the part that he is ostracized. So presumably that leads to him going out to Outworld and getting enslaved by somebody. We don't know
This
who.
is where I think partially one thing they're not telling us in the story is maybe this Reptile is working for Shang Tsung. And then he's also sort of like the jailer. And then that's why he has those keys. Because it's like he was there to maybe help them out or something like that.
That ruins my headcanon, but that could also explain why he's like very nonchalantly walking down the halls, because like he's supposed to be there. No one's gonna like stop him, you know?
Yeah,
which
might be,
is the opposite of what I thought. I thought the reason he was, I'm so sad now, because I was hoping he was walking so casually because he's done it 100 times. And he's like, yeah, I sneak in places all the time. And now like, I just kind of walk through because I'm already in, and I know when to like, you know, be invisible and when not to be. So here we go.
I know it's me, dog, but I just don't feel like NetherRealm would do that deeper level of characterization. It doesn't feel like something they would do. It feels like they would be like, it's like if he's walking down this place casually, that's because he's supposed to be here. There literally cannot be any other reason because it's NetherRealm.
Damn, I love the idea of Swaggy Reptile just being like, all like, yep, I break people out of prison. That's what I do. Do my thing, my reptile thing.
It kind of still could, because it's like you see that one montage where he like runs on the rooftop and like getting ready to do a sneak attack and stuff like that.
Also, can we talk about what a brilliant costume design choice it was to make his sash on the back a metaphor for his tail? And how cool that is.
It's not just that, dog. It's so much more. So much more. His whole entire design. But before I get into that, before I forget about this, there's one thing I want to mention about like, if say he's like Shang Tsung working with him, or like, so does that mean he's not a good guy, or is he going to betray? That's a very interesting question, because in my opinion, as of right now, our whole entire roster, we don't have a lot of bad guys.
True.
You go to MK9, like half the roster is bad guys. But in this game, it's like, okay, who's going to be the jobber? Who's gonna get beat up? I see Rain. I think Havik. and then yeah, maybe Baraka, but like, is that it?
I see Rain.
I feel like a lot of people are way too presumptuous about the idea that Melina, Tanya, Baraka, they're definitely gonna get chapters. I'm like, I really doubt it. Because
I think Melina might though.
I really don't trust that these characters won't revert to their classic roles. I don't see Tanya and Melina, even just for the vibe I've gotten so far, they don't feel like good guys. It really does feel like we are just leading into the part where they turn evil, as it were. And I just don't imagine that we're going to get anything different with those characters.
Yeah, my theory was something similar. I thought that we were going to see most of the characters be heroes, but then as Shang Tsung messes with things, or even as a timeline just like reverts, whatever it may be, if written well, this would be super depressing. We'll see a lot of the good guys just become villains through like circumstance or through manipulation or something. So Tanya will be a villain hidden among us. Reptile will be a villain hidden among us. Even Ashra may go, when she realizes that her sword has actually been tricking her the whole time, she might turn evil too. Serena's a villain, it looks like, because she has the crazy demon form.
Cameo fighters is hard to say how they
here's the thing, because at least with Serena, I can accept it, because Serena became a good guy because of her interactions with Bihan. Now, Quan Chi is confirmed to be in the game. Not just from the DLC, we see him in the trailer where he's been beaten up.
Good point.
Yeah,
he's going around doing his thing. So Serena's going to be accompanying him, obviously. So unless Bihan got involved in a mythologies-esque plot, she's probably still a villain.
Yeah. I mean, she's now even more of a demon because she has a demon
maybe
form.
maybe Ashra would simply be taking Serena's classic role.
But yeah, I like my theory that a lot of the people we've seen as good guys are actually villains in disguise. Like they're going to become antagonists at some point in the story.
Yeah,
also,
I could see that too, dog. And I feel like that might be something to go with. Currently, I feel like it's not necessarily good versus evil, Earthbound versus Outworld. It feels like a lot of allegiances. You got the Lin Kuei, you got the
which is more cool anyway.
Yeah. And then because they disagree, they fight. Not necessarily because you're evil, I fight. It's more like, oh, you're the Umgadi. Yeah. That's how I'm kind of.
You were different colors than me.
That's the reason. Yeah.
That guy's wearing purple. Get it?
You were talking about his design, how like the robe makes it into his tail. I watched Ketchup and Mustard's video about this, talking about his design. Like Mustard mentioned this, and so I'm saying this verbatim. He said it like really good. It's like the robe goes like this, like sideways on his shoulder, wrapping around his body, and also even the robe has like these like markings like a snake, and it looks like it's also wrapping around him like a snake, and then making the tail, like you said. It does. Sometimes I actually do mistake it as a tail because like in the dark and the shadow it might look like it, but it is just his robe part. Yeah. So that part is really cool. Also, his wrists, the metal parts, they're scales. You can see like they're obviously and like on his
shoulder. Yeah, the shoulder one is such a cool touch.
To me, I think this design is like what people say. It's like, okay, because a lot of people say this game has a lot of very simplistic designs, and I would say Reptile does look a bit, but there's also a lot of these like little details that just kind of click and make me be like, oh, that's so cool. I really like how they modernize his classic design, because obviously this is like another classic ninja design, but like modernized in a way.
How's it feel, Tanya fans? How's it feel to see a character like perfectly realized?
I do think this is. I mean, well, I was going to say it's the best human reptile design we've had, but then again, like, what competition is there? It's just the classic designs.
Hey, classic designs. MK9 alternate.
It's literally MK1, MK2, UMK3, and then
MK9.
Player 2, no, but yeah, that's just the same costumes. And Player 2 Shaolin Monks, where it's the Shaolin Monks outfit, but with the human design. That's it. Cool. So there's not much competition, but it is a solid design. I'd say it's the best of all the ninja costumes in the game so far, male or female.
So I remember last episode we were talking, and then Snake was like, you're going to retract your statement of saying that you think the males don't look hotter than the females when Reptile comes out. No shit now. Of course I have to retract my statement. It's not even a joke. It's like he's literally, like, out of all the male characters, somehow, like, the most handsome looking one too, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions too.
I described him as having like the skater boy look, or like the hot stoner, like that cool kid in your friends group that like you're not sure how he looks hot because bad boy kind of hot, which is interesting.
When he's doing the explanation, he's walking on the street. I'm like, oh, he's kind of okay, but when he does the whole like, they can't catch me if they don't see me, I'm like, oh, that angle is very handsome. It's like that's the angle that people like.
I love Reptile making jokes. I love that Reptile's having a little bit of fun. Like it's interesting.
It's such a different depiction of Reptile. It's like I could never imagine this.
This entire game is freaking fan fiction for some characters. Like Liu Kang is pure fan fiction. Reptile is sheer fan fiction. All I'm waiting for now is Natara. I want Natara to get that fan fiction treatment like real bad.
Hard to say though, because like Ashra didn't get changed much for her lore, but like Reptile, it's very funny because, like, I think it's very ironic that his whole purpose, his whole story for the past 20 years is, I want to bring back my Zaterran race. And in this game, it's, the Zaterran race has banished me. It's such an ironic, like, story for... Oh, by the way, True Underdog, you got it right. Or you were very close to getting it right.
Yeah, I did. I said that if he gets his race back, he's still going to be alone somehow because being a loner is part of his character.
Not only that, you said that they're going to, like, banish him, but not because he's human, because he's, like, much more a crocodile disease or something like that. But you were right about that. They banished him. There's people. So that's like, people, like, in the comment section, they were like, yo, Trinidad got it right. We're really close to getting it right, too.
The prophecy is written. It's almost like reminds me of Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z, where he was the only one of his kind for so long. But then when they bring the Namekians to, like, Earth, he's still just a loser by himself that refuses to hang out with people. Like, he got what he wanted, but still refuses.
To me, also, I kind of want to touch on the lizard form, because that's the form that I think is more of the controversial part about Reptile. Because human Reptile, people are like, I like this Nero. I like this Nero look he's going with here. But the lizard form reptiles, where people kind of go a bit like back and forth, and I'm not too sure how they feel. To me, my first initial thought was, oh, thank God he's a lizard. Thank God he's a scaly. Thank God he has scales. He's not actually human reptile. If they just did human reptile, period, I would be so mad. I would hate it, but I would not deny it's still a good design. I can't deny that. But like the fact that he the fact that he is a lizard form is, to me, I'm like, okay, good. At least he's a lizard form. It's definitely like very like, at first I wasn't too sure how to feel about it because it's like such a different like look. Because to me, I would have been, the perfect reptile would have been the human form and just take it off Zetarian form. That's it, done. But I actually think it's growing on me, especially because of his gameplay. Like the fact that he switches back and forth. It's like the big buffy lizard dude like actually comes into the play style with like the claws and also like the alligator bite spin move, which people are really liking that one. That's really, yeah, the death row. And also his fatal blow and fatalities. Like, in my opinion, I think that fatality is so badass. It's like I just felt like, oh, that's a great fatality, and every single person in my freaking Twitter and YouTube comments are being like, oh, Vor, Sonic, like that? Vor.
Well, I mean, it even makes like the detailed swallowing sound that you would expect from like Vor, you know?
It's like for some people, if it ended there, it would have been perfect. To me, I think, because it's also one of those fatalities where it's like, you could have ended it, but then you continue. It's like, oh, it would have been fine if you just ended it there. And for the most part, I dislike not ending it, like that Geras fatality where he like puts you through the sand and it's like, half of my face is good, and he pulls you back out and he slams you on the ground. I'm like, the fuck? You could have fulfilled, you could have like committed to that. It would have been better. You didn't even get half his face off. It's like only an arm, and then you pull him back and just slam him on the ground. Like, I thought that was a bit weak ending there. But for a reptile, it's like, oh, Melina's not dead yet. Oh, jeez, she's all covered in acid. Like, she's fucked. She's done. Like that part of it, I liked in that fatality. IMO, in my opinion. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna calm down a bit more, let you guys talk, because I can keep.
This is technically only the second time, right, where reptiles had a tail. We only have Deadly Alliance in this.
If we're talking about gameplay, then yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah. Well, I think also just in the games, right? Like, aside from his Deadly Alliance design, he's never had a tail.
Shalamuk's design was closer to MK4, and then that was the one that really took off. They brought that over for Armageddon, the only character to get that happen. And then when they brought him back for the Netherrealm era, that was the iteration that they clearly used as the basis for it. It was the same kind of style. So, and now it's like that's the one one of the three styles they have not used in this game is the older version, the MK1 to 3 version, and the 3D era design. So it's like, we're going very different for Reptile, but it's still like old school.
Now I'm hoping that he gets back his somersault attack that he only had in Deadly Alliance. He had a little rolling attack.
Oh, because shoulder bash has always been a good mobility tool for me too.
It could be that too.
Even if you don't hit him, it's just fast.
Yeah, and MK9 is one of the most broken moves to ever exist because he legit gets a 3 dash and a single special. Go ahead, Snake.
I know that because I used it 1,000 times in Challenge Tower 300.
You suck.
Okay, Snake is really pissed because we keep disturbing him.
No. Well, do you remember that weird slide move that Scorpion and Batman had, where they just like slide down and like knock you over?
The little sweep, the little scissor sweep.
Breakdance, even the breakdance one.
Yeah, like Reptile should have that and like use that as like a take on the death roll. So like a variation on his normal slide, but instead of like launching you, he's like just gets you on the ground, like rolls on you.
Sure. I mean, I just want his little Sonic attack to come back as a reference because now that he's a full-on lizard, and like I think the main reason they gave him that move in Deadly Alliance is because he had like the tail, so it looked really cool visually for him to roll at you and like have the tail flop around.
With Reptile, if you had that roll move, like Melina's got a similar one, so they could always say, well, they could use it and be, well, Reptile taught Melina how to do that. It's a technique of his people, because I mean we do have Li Mei having taught Katana and Melina to fight.
They do.
I like that lore piece that's been revealed recently. I think that's cute.
She really is the grandma. Somebody made the joke that she looks like a grandma now. She really is like
mother,
she raised
literally mother. Don't grandma her.
She raised the kids, which is an interesting touch. No firework powers for them though.
Nope, that's her thing. That's her thing. What else can I say? Again, I could go on about Reptile for freaking hours if I wanted
Yeah.
to, but I think
Good character.
I think this is pretty good. We can just continue with the trailer. It was really funny, by the way, is when the trailer dropped, I was literally thinking about Reptile for like over an hour, and like I was on my way to the Van Gogh museum, so literally I was like looking at the most beautiful Vincent Van Gogh paintings.
What did you just call it?
Vincent Van Gogh, isn't that how you pronounce it?
Snake, tell him.
Van Gogh, I think.
Well, you're both wrong. Whatever.
What is it, that American boy?
It's pronounced like you're saying Hof, like Van Hof.
Van
You don't
Gogh.
pronounce the G.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Well, we call him Fangu here, if you really want to be specific.
Van Gogh.
Yeah,
Fangu?
Fangu in Chinese.
Fangu.
That's what we call him here. So if you want to be very like different there. But yeah, looking at like amazing paintings of him, and I'm just like, wow. I wonder if Reptile has a cloaca. Ah, what the frick? No, I should be looking at Van Gogh. What the heck?
Leave me alone, Bing.
Yeah,
Ah.
do the cure meme basically. Ah, dun, ah. And then also literally after that, I was like, oh yeah, Ashra and Havik got announced. Oh yeah, that's right, that happened. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But the coronation happens, and then you get to see. Okay, let's go to Ashra because that's what happens like immediately after that. So Ashra controversy. How are we feeling about that?
Taken way too far. Handled. I mean, I almost don't even want to talk about it because the poor guy is gonna like have to relive it again if enough people watch this video and learn about it. But yeah, we won't name anybody.
Funny.
But actually, a couple of people got memed on for it, and at first it was just funny. I even thought it was funny because they reminded me of that I Show Speed meme where he got it wrong on purpose, where Mario shows up and he goes, "Luigi, let's go," and that's clearly like just him being wrong on purpose.
In Smash, people get it wrong all the time. And my favorite one was like, I don't know, it's like when Byleth from Fire Emblem got revealed and you see like the intro, like someone fighting and someone was like, Kylo Ren!
Kylo
Really?
Ren.
Of everyone? And then like Hungrybox, one of my favorite Smash player content creators, was like, they were announcing like the Mii costumes and it was like Travis from No More Heroes. Travis Scott? I love these. They're just so funny.
Yeah, and it should have been an innocent meme just like that, but people got really angry and he's like saying fake fan and stuff, and it really got to some of those people and
No, it
made
wasn't
them
just
a bit
that.
depressed.
The tweet literally says it's like your whole job is to do Mortal Kombat content, and you literally got it wrong.
Which is not even true for that individual. That person hasn't done MK stuff exclusively for a long time. That person's channel is more like DC and superhero stuff or Marvel superheroes and stuff with Mortal Kombat occasionally sprinkled in. So that person is completely wrong. Now, if I had done that, then they could rightfully make fun of me, but I would have been like, I mean, it's good content. It's just funny shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And to be fair, Ashra, if you look at her and just think about it, does kind of have a Devora look going on because she has the beady black eyes. She has her armor kind of looks bug-like. If you look at it, it actually kind of does look bug-like.
I think people need to understand, like, just because we're like, I don't get why, like, what saying Devora is like a slur or something. I'm sorry, you call Ashra like Devora? Oh, it's like what? It's not like offensive or something. Like, guys, chill.
Yeah. And she looks nothing like Ashra in that default outfit. Now, thankfully, she has a traditional one that's like more true to how she looks in Deception. But like that initial angle of Ashra, if you had not known through leaks that Ashra was going to be in the game until she says her name, you probably wouldn't know that was Ashra. Like from a distance, looks nothing like her.
It's a white lady with a sword, so
yeah.
I got her
Chris.
immediately, but still, I understand why some people wouldn't. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine just like an hour ago, and he was like, "Yo, that new trailer looks so hype. I'm so happy for Reptile, and the new characters look great too." And I'm like, "Those are that's an existing. That's Ashra. Who?" He looked up Ashra. What the? I know Ashra. What? That's her. Where's her hat? Where's her veil? It's like even like he didn't know.
Yeah.
So it's like yeah, I can understand why people wouldn't immediately see that as Ashra. It's a really like big change.
There's no way for me to praise Ashra without being a hypocrite either, because I think before I've said that changing a character, I've said that it's dumb to change a character just to be more literal, like how making Sindel evil just because she looks evil was dumb. Here we have like the reverse, where before the whole twist with Ashra, she looks all innocent and pure. So then when you learn that she's a demon, you're kind of like, oh, that's interesting, because she looks like she's the symbol of like almost a nun. And then in this game, they're like, well, she's a demon, so let's make her look really demonic. Like give her the black eyes and like the creepy stuff on her face. And then like even her outfit looks, despite being white, kind of still looks sinister with like the angles and stuff. So they're like, literal demon, but I still love the costume. I think it looks good. I
To,
like
to
it.
me, I'm a bit of the opposite, actually. I think it's like because she is a demon trying to purify herself. It's like she looks human, but like something is a bit wrong, a bit off with her. Yeah, that aspect is much more shown in this iteration of Ashra. And I don't know. At first I was also a bit skeptical, but I kind of like it now. I kind of like. Okay, the point is she's not like human. The point is something is up with her. And you really don't see any of that in the old depiction of her like at all. It's like in the old depiction of her, she just looks like a normal human ass person. But in this one's like, oh, something's not right.
Yeah, how funny would it be if, like, in story mode, Johnny tries to approach her from behind. She's in a more classic outfit, and he's like, "Hey, baby, what that butt do?" And she turns around, and he sees her black eyes, and he goes, "Ah!" Because that's the only part of her that's messed up.
Or actually, there's been a theory going on around with this new Ashra that, like, because they're not showing everything about her yet. In the gameplay trailer, you can see her white sword actually going purple in some scenes.
Yep.
And also, a very cool detail I wouldn't have caught if it weren't for fan art is that she has a third eye. Like there's a line here that's obviously like a third eye. So it's as if saying like she has another form. So like that's a really interesting thing going on around there. So maybe Johnny might see her like true form, like third eye. Oh, excuse me, Johnny, I didn't put my makeup on or something like that. I don't know.
Well, it depends how they approach her, because it is possible that, because the way I always looked at the Ashra design deception, why she doesn't look demonic at all, is partly because you look at like characters like Serena, that they didn't look demonic either. Like, they did look human. That's just the style at the time. But also, Ashra was very clearly towards the end of her quest for purification, because in her ending, it's not canon, but she does kill Noob Saibot, and that's the last of it. She's completely purified then, until she's expelled from the Netherrealm. So clearly she's been doing this for a long time, and now she's towards the end. This one seems, potentially this one is not as far along in her quest, which would be an interesting take. And you look at Serena's design, like she's got similar demonic thing, like the black eyes and such, and like also the weird thing with the hair as well. Like it's like real like further back than it used to be. So like clearly that's the style they're going for. It's like the parallel between these two designs. I also want to touch on another thing. The thing Dog said about being literal is like, so she's being purified, and what does she do in her big super move? Angel. What does she have?
Angel wings.
Like so, what? Like demon gets purified. Now she's an angel. It's like,
well, technically in the Bible they're the same thing. That's the funny part. Everyone glosses over that, but demons are angels. They just followed Satan, but they're the same.
The thing about Ashra that I hope they keep and I hope they go with is the fact that she's much more like sinister because of the Chris, because of the sword. I think they are going with that angle where it's like you're mistaking her as an angel, but she definitely is. Her quest isn't as noble as you think. Like I hope they continue with that angle with her.
And what's also cool is that if you look closely at the angel wings, they're actually a bunch of Chris blades. They're not even feathers. Like they're actually the sword repeated over and over again. Yeah. And she even looks at the sword to do the fatality, which implies those wings are not even hers. That's just the sword. The sword can like put the wings on her.
Heroes never die. That's nice. That's true. That'd be a funny meme.
It's entirely,
I'm gonna look at somebody.
It's entirely a coincidence that she was just resting on my desk.
A bit of an elaboration of what Dog just mentioned. It's like she's gonna have her classic costume back. It's like, what are you talking about, Dog? Like, what the heck is up with that? In the coronation scene, you see a lot of our characters in disguises, as funny, cute little like disguises. It's like they kind of look Osh-techy in a sort of way.
Scooby-Doo level fucking disguise, like where it's just clearly them, but they're wearing like a different.
By the way,
it's on brand. Remember the Osh-tech disguises?
Yeah.
Where like Kung Lao still got his hat on his back and Liu Kang still got his bandana. It's like it's clearly that. I'm not even trying.
The best part is I really hope and I think it's gonna be in the game this time, because there's that one scene where Reptile was up with the katana. It's like, you misread my intentions, princess. And you see behind him is Kenshi in his disguise. So that's probably his cameo fighter for that part of the chapter.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. And anyways, so in that scene, you will see Ashra in her disguise, and she's got the veil, and with like a red. I think it's red too in the disguise part.
She has a lot of more color, like orange and green, on her other outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously that's more of like a haha, I'm disguising kind of veil, but I really do hope she has like the pure white veil with her costume eventually in the game.
Just
that's what everybody would want to see. Big hat. It's a big dumb hat. I want to see it. It's her
We see it again later on when Liu Kang is talking to them. She's just not wearing the hat, but it's still her costume too.
You
Yeah.
just have the red costume part. Yeah, we did see that.
I'm curious about you guys' take on this. So the screenshot I sent you of that scene, we can see Katana and
Let me
Melina.
see.
Oh snap! You're gonna make me go out of this mode. Son of
We're
a
all
gun.
gonna go out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, I see.
Where they're
Yeah.
wearing the nice,
That
coronation
woman in the
costumes.
background in the middle, is that Lee May?
Oh snap! Let me see.
In the middle? I don't know.
Yeah, it
It
could
looks
be.
more like Lee May. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it could be. Sorry,
I
I was
think-
gonna say that looks
yeah.
more
I
like
think
Lee
that's-
May, but I thought you said Tanya. Sorry.
Because I think that's the stance she takes in her character render. So I'm wondering if that's just like her pose with her hands behind her back.
Yeah, that
Like,
could be a costume of Lee May. Yeah, I could see that.
That would be cool because we'd finally get her awesome pants back. Though they look kind of lame. I feel like if you're gonna reference the old games, just go literal. Just make it 100% the costume, and then censor it a little bit because we live in that era where you gotta censor it. But Lee May's Deadly Alliance costume needs to come back.
Speaking of costumes, I'm wondering about these all black bodysuits that Johnny
Yeah.
and Kung Lao are shown
Yeah.
wearing. at various points.
New
there was a
faction,
lot
huh?
of Johnny Kenshi.
Johnny's even has a sword on
Costumes.
the back.
People are saying that's probably Sento. That's probably Sento's Kenshi's sword. He's
Oh
holding it
yeah,
for
yeah.
him.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it is because Kenshi's still got his other one on his back.
In the trailer, Johnny is holding his sword, and Kenshi is putting a hand on Johnny's shoulder because he's blind. It's a very cute
Yeah,
little
yeah,
thing
yeah.
you see in the trailer. So he's
Oh.
probably holding Sento for him for now. Yeah.
Which means that
My headcanon.
which implies there'll be a long section where Kenshi just won't be having any fights because he doesn't have his sword, so he can't fight because he's blind.
Well,
Damn.
he's trying to learn how to fight. Maybe. Yeah.
It's worth noting that, 'cause remember when we see him with Melina, Kenshi, he doesn't have the blindfold, but he does have this outfit, which suggests
Yeah.
that happened.
And he's not
someone-
blinded yet.
So at some point around then, probably around the time of the coronation, he's going to get blinded, and then he'll get the bandana. Maybe Liu Kang will give him his old bandana from back in the day, and he'll wear that. and then Johnny's going to help him out, but Johnny's still not going to give him a sword because Johnny's an asshole.
It's funny that y'all aren't mentioning the fact that these new outfits they're wearing like definitely implies the special forces at some point show up and gear them up because that's not Shaolin monk attire. That looks like straight up like special gear that the special operatives will give you. So I'm thinking special
think about
forces,
that,
Sonya and
actually.
Jax show up in story mode despite only being cameos. And they have like a
That
third
could be
costume we haven't
possible, yeah.
seen where they have a modern costume look. Even if the cameo fighters are not canon to the scene, I do think the cameo fighters all show up in story mode to an extent. So I think that
Yeah.
Sonya and Jax might still be in the story. They're just not directly playable. And they're going to have their modern, like new MK1 outfits. But we haven't seen them in the trailer because NetherRealm's being sneaky about it. But that would explain why they have special forces outfits. Because otherwise, how else do we explain them getting special forces outfits? Is it really going to be some random NPC that gives them costumes? That sounds kind of lame.
Maybe off screen. Go to the Special Forces convenience store and you come rendezvous here.
They could definitely do that, and that would suck so bad, but they could definitely do that.
I actually agree. I really do think the cameo fighters will have a presence in the story mode and in the cutscenes from what we're seeing.
Cool.
We've already seen it with Reiko and Motaro. It's like they both walk up on screen. So it's like the cameo fighters should sometimes be in the story mode too. At least I hope they will do. I think that helps out the plot and that helps like with more characters. Like you said, special forces too, because really, really hard to say if Sonya and Jax are going to be base characters in this game now. Really hard to say.
I'm just got a bit distracted looking at the trailer because we see the bit where the heroes like escape through a portal back to Liu Kang's place, and like Johnny and Ashra were in the festival outfits, which despite the way it's ordered in the trailer suggests they meet Ashra first, then they go to the festival, and then that's where they get those festival outfits, and then they go from there to here.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, it seems like it. Because you see a scene where Ashra is like fighting Baraka and his tribe. Oh, by the way, Baraka with the good guys walking together. A lot of people are happy about that. Fighting
Hell
Baraka.
yeah.
You also see lizard form like Reptile looking at the fight too for like 1 second. So it suggests that Ashra is like defending herself, and then eventually she'll join them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll have to fight her first, then she'll join.
Yeah,
Oh, actually,
Reptile's gotta kick her ass.
I just thought. So there's a bit in the trailer where Ashra slices a green skull in the living
Yep.
forest.
Yes,
So
yes.
Quan Chi and Havik are working together.
Or is it Shang Tsung's skull?
Do you think that's Quan Chi or do you think that's Shang Tsung? Because they're both skulls, right?
Shang Tsung's are orange. They're not green. That's always been Quan Chi's thing.
They're usually orange. The only exception is in his intro in MK11 where he summons a little green skull when he talks to you, but that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's why Serena's there.
Because Quan Chi.
Serena's there because Quan Chi's like, you stay here and deal with this.
Oh.
And I'm gonna go, and then Ashra's gonna go and tell the heroes about it, and they're gonna go and stop Quan Chi from assassinating Melina or Katana or whatever at the festival. And Reptile's like, no, you misunderstand, princess. She's like,
We're here
no,
to save you,
bullshit.
basically.
And piecing it all together. That's the narrative.
Nice. It's pretty good. Okay, I got a question here. What the heck is that stage? Right? Is that actually Chaos Realm, or is that just some random ass green fiery?
Forest.
Living Forest on Fire, unfortunately, is what it looks like, because there is no mention of Chaos Realm.
Living Forest.
There is.
You can tell you got the
So-
faces for the
The
trees.
trees have faces, yeah.
Yeah, but are you saying there's going to be a day version of Living Forest, night version, and then a destroyed version?
Yeah, why not?
Maybe.
I actually really think that's a different place.
The reason I
honestly.
don't
Like,
think
even
it's
with the
Chaos Realm, it
trees.
could be, but the reason I think I have doubts that it could be
probably is
Chaos
not
Realm.
Chaos Realm, yeah.
Wait, let me finish. It's because Havok's bio mentions nothing about Chaos Realm. It only mentions Sado. Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. Havok's bio was very big. Out of all the
Yeah.
bios we got, Ashra is like, okay, the same old lore. Reptile in the trailer. Havok, huh? Nothing is mentioned about this in the trailer at all. Let's get into Havok.
Kind of funny. So far, the realms we have confirmed so far are Earth Realm, Outworld, which is basically Edenia, and Order Realm is mentioned, right?
Yeah,
But then we've got Havik showing up. We have Darius. We have possibly Nitara. We have even Reptiles referred to as a Zeteran, even though there's no mention of Zetera at all.
Zeteran is Outworld now. It says Zetera is on the fringes of Outworld or something like that. In
It
his
did
bio.
say that. How
Yeah, so
funny.
it's
He's
in
supposed to be an
Outworld
Earth Realmer.
now.
What the fuck? I don't like that change. That's supposed to be our boy. Reptile's supposed to be ours.
Or-
Damn it.
Maybe that's
Oh,
why he
well.
can turn into a human. Oh, secret lore. Oh.
I guess that makes sense though, because Outworld is the fantasy setting now and Earth is just Earth. But I kind of liked how in the old MK games, Earth was also fantastical to an extent. I kind of miss that, but
Are
oh
you
well.
saying the tea house isn't fantastical or Johnny's mansion?
presumably we're going to see like NetherRealm or something at some point, just for a bit, because
Presumably.
Quan Chi is involved in the plot.
Ashra says like she's from NetherRealm, so that
Yeah,
exists. right?
so we already have like 3 confirmed characters involved in this plot from the NetherRealm. So presumably we're going to get that as well, which is like the bog standard
Ashra,
NetherRealm era.
Mhm.
Serena, yeah. So like, we have
Yeah,
like the
three.
it's like we have the bog standard 3 so far, but we're getting all these other reps. So I'm wondering, are they actually? It's possible that they will actually see some of it, or it could be that they're going to expand on that stuff in an expansion or in the next game. And
The
for now, they're just
sequel.
now they're just like laying the foundations for where we go, the simple plot. But then you got all these other characters who are getting involved to set up more stuff involved in their realms at a later time.
I think it's very. I think they're setting up a lot of things that to the point
Mm.
where I don't think everything is going to be resolved. I think it's going to be everything's going to be more, or they're setting it up for sequel stuff. But there's also like the main threat thing that you got to handle for this game and whatnot. It's kind of like how in Mortal Kombat 9 the main focus is Shao Kahn, but Quan Chi has been doing things in the background like an amazing villain he is.
Dang
so
you,
Shinnok and Quan Chi
you
were an
evil
MKX
mastermind.
stuff. Ooh, mastermind.
I just had a terrible thought. What if all that setup with the Great Kung Lao will be for Chapter 1, Fire God Liu Kang, in which Great Kung Lao is a cameo fighter, and that's the
At
entire
least
thing.
he's
And
a cameo fighter.
and then he dies, and that's all we get from him. And then Liu Kang's like, "Damn, it didn't work out this time either." Jump forward
So-
400 years.
I have a theory. I don't know if that's going to happen, but my theory is that the Great Kung Lao will beat Goro, and that's why the Mortal Kombat tournament isn't that big of a deal nowadays. You know, like Bihan said before, it's like we're in so much peace right now. It's such a peaceful era. I hate this because the Mortal Kombat tournament doesn't exist.
I hate not having people to punch.
Something like that, basically.
My fists say hunger. I can't punch anything.
I can't punch it. So let's get into Havok, because that was the big crowd cheering moment in Evo too. I mean, obviously Reptile was giantly hint, Reptile, and then when Havok showed up, was the second shouting, like what?
Yeah, except I missed him completely at first. For this first half second, my eyes went straight to Serena, and I was like, Serena, let's go! no! Oh,
I
Havik.
didn't see. So you were like Yanni from the Realm cast, basically. When you didn't care about.
But it wasn't
okay.
even like it was literal tunnel vision. It wasn't even like me purposely trying to ignore Havik for the meme. I legit, my eyes went straight to the other character. It's so funny.
So I was the opposite. I didn't see Serena until because like when she was using her cameo abilities, it was like the demon form. I thought that was Havok's ability. I was like, oh, Havok can summon a demon. That sounds normal. And then later on, when it's like the fatal blow, when I saw Serena, I was like, my initial reaction was Serena. I was like, I'm happy for you, Serena fans. You finally got what you got. Aw, Serena fans. That's how I was more like that kind of a way.
Cut to that person on Twitter who I saw with the scared like Lee May expression from MKX, and he goes, "No, my favorite character is a cameo."
Oh, so in the Realm cast, they did their reaction, and I thought it was super hilarious because it was like when Serena showed up, Phantom was like, "Oh, it's Serena," and then Yanni was like, like cry
breaks the mic.
Basically.
Yeah.
Phantom had to tell him that Serena was there because it's hard to catch Serena in the beginning of the trailer parts. But that's not turn our attention to Serena. Let's get back to Havik. Dog, you seem very positive with Havik. You seem like he's like he was the show stealer. You thought he was like super great.
I think again the animators and everyone responsible for the gameplay is doing a great job. Like just even if like the story is not good, those gameplay guys are always there, like saving it every single time. Because having Havik hurt himself is one thing. It's what he did in past games. But now he makes it attacks. Like he tears his arm off and beats you with like it's a baseball bat. Awesome. Fantastic change. His body's spinning around at the spine while he punches you. Awesome. The only thing I don't like that I only noticed in hindsight and upsets me a little bit is having him yell is like out of character. He always whispered, which was cool. So for it to be Havik, he would have been like, joy and chaos or else. But he was like, you will joy and chaos, which makes me worried the writers don't know that he's supposed to whisper, but we'll see.
To be fair, though, like, if he whispers, he's going to be another Noob Saibot situation.
No, I just want literal whispers. Like, you have to listen to him. Like, he's like,
also, to be fair, though, like, this is, especially because of the bio, it's definitely not, like, we're not getting that angry. Chaos Havik yet. Or
he's
maybe
angry.
he will eventually.
I'm wondering what the I wonder what the explanation is going to be for him being able to grow back his limbs, because if he was a Chaos resident, that would make perfect sense. But they flipped the script, and now he's like he's a rebellious Order Realmer. So I'm wondering what the fuck's the deal with the arm coming back? Some ancient artifact? Did he steal something? Is he cursed? What is it? Right? Sorry,
Let's
Snake.
get the Snake here.
I have this idea that.
Anyway, I had a bad dream last night, so I wanted to talk about no.
I have this wonderful idea for a fatality for him. What he does is he like lifts up his leg, rips it off, and beats the opponent to death with it.
The Quan Chi, but his own leg.
With his own leg.
That's cute, and just never stop. Just keep beating it. Like Havik wins.
You don't do the MK9 shit where it hits them till the head explodes or anything. No, you keep the original comedic intent and just keep hitting them over and over again. And like other fatalities you might get the slow motion money shot from Injustice 2. Here he just keeps going.
Yeah,
like everything else is slowed around, but he's just still going. Like in the Flash, when the Flash like hits the opponent in the versus screen in Justice 2, and he's just there like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was just having just beat the opponent with his own leg.
Yeah. Okay. And then Snake, and then when he's keep beating him, and when the victory scream shows up, the cameo fighter just does his pose next to Havik as he beats him.
Serena's just there doing that. Is like slowing down to nothing while he's just still going even after she's completely frozen because he's chaotic.
You know what would be awesome? And like they're not gonna do this, but this would be the ultimate representation of chaos and doing the unexpected. Give Havik the only third fatality in the game, but it's a harakiri where he kills himself to be unexpected, and it even gives your opponent the win. How sick would that be for like ultimate chaos and everything is thrown out of whack? Like give the opponent the win. Like they're so confused. Pure anarchy, man. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I just, in my opinion, I wanted to just see more Havik moves. I wanted to just see him keep doing weird ass shit because like that's fun. My favorite thing that Havik does is when he calls out Serena, like his head just goes 180. Did you catch that one?
Yeah, he does
love
like
that.
he even turns completely around at some points and is like facing the wrong way. Like he really is like being goofy.
Yeah, those are things I want to just keep seeing more. I also like his fatal blow where he punches you until it's just bones on his arm and he uses that to stab you. It's like that's creative. Like those are things that are like fun that I want to just like see more of from Havik and stuff. My only issue, and truly my only issue with Havik as of right now, why is he hot?
Yeah, again, that is the weird thing they're doing. You got this weird fucking comb.
Okay.
It's simple like Jago from Killer Instinct.
Pecs. He has like freaking pecs and like
Well,
he's got like an ugly
muscular.
like mouth, but like you cover it up. It's like a handsome like eye.
Oh, okay,
like,
okay, I see.
They've definitely
and
toned
he's
down
younger looking
because it used to be like everything. Basically, it kind of looked like if you took an MK Ninja mask, super glued it to someone's face, and then tore it off, and all the flesh came off.
And it was just skull.
That was all bone. Now it's all like skin. So it's what it reminds me of is that shot in the MKX comic when he's got the human disguise to fool Hanzo, and then he's like he reveals his true form and like rips that part off.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. He's got the blood, and he's even got the normal eyes instead of the white eyes like he's supposed to have. So it's a really. So that's my concern with Havik is that they might base him more on the comic version where he's just generic bad guy. He wasn't even about chaos. He was mind controlling people.
Yeah,
it's like mind controlling people. That's more of an order thing. That's what Injustice Superman does. You know, that's more of what you'd expect Hotaru to be about. He should be doing what the Quan Chi shit from the old TV shows where he'd turn the heroes against each other. That's his thing. So, so I'm worried he's going to be just a generic bad guy working with Quan Chi instead of being like he should be like, oh yeah, I'm working with Quan Chi. Then he's like, but not really. I'm just doing my own thing. See you, Quan Chi. Bye. See you in the sequel.
That would be funny if he's like he embraces chaos. I actually don't like the redesign. That's the only thing I don't like about him is I don't like the new look too much.
I like him more ugly. I like him more older. I want more like uglier. Yeah, like he's hot. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. And I get that it makes sense with the bio because he's like an untouchable. He's the lowest class, which is why it makes sense that he's wearing like straps and rags and stuff. And his cool cleric like face mask that he used to kind of have is now just literally a black headband and that's it. And I'm like,
I want that, like,
that's so boring compared to like the skull up there and the whole brace. Yeah. So I kind of miss it, but they're probably going to give him an alternate and all that. So I know it's going to be all good.
You know what? I have to say something here. We've said this so many times, and it's been kind of concerning me to the point where it's like, is it gonna? Yeah, we keep saying like, don't worry, there's gonna be an alternate. Don't worry, there's gonna be an alternate. Don't worry, we said that so many times now. It's like, well, can't the base just be good?
It could be a Cassie Cage situation too, where every alternate is like ass. That was like a meme in Mortal Kombat 11 that Cassie did not have a single good skin until like the DLC came out.
It's another 50-50 dice roll. Okay, dice roll is 1 out of 6, but like we'll see. Like I'm sure there's gonna be great alternates, but like
give us a fully naked Havik mod, and he has like pixels covering his junk, like he's blurred like TV style.
No, the way you do Havik like that is, you know how he's got like this part where it's just skull.
Yeah,
it's just bone for his crotch.
Oh, just the pelvis. Yeah.
He has thigh flesh. He has like stomach, like you see a bit of his entrails sticking out at the bottom, but like that whole area, it's like, you know when Liu Kang had that move like about brutality where he blasts you with a fireball at like crotch level and just burns that part to, but do that with Havik. That's the Havik nude mod we all deserve.
Yep.
But that's just the front. On the back, he's still double cheeked up on a Thursday night.
Yeah, he's still double cheeked up.
They better bring back his projectile. It's so iconic for him to break his knees backwards and fire the projectile. They better bring that back, man. I need it.
I hope. Currently, Havik looks fun. Havik looks like what we want Havik to be. So, and like you said, Dog, before, it's like there are so many moves in this game, right? It's like it's kind of hard to remember them all. So hopefully he hits a lot of these like fun moves in his moveset and stuff like that.
He needs at least one reference where he hurts himself and gets health, because it's always been really interesting that him causing pain heals himself.
I'm excited for his taunt, his like press down.
Oh yeah, they all have teabag taunts. I forgot. They all have different stuff.
Yeah.
Reptile better turn into a scaly boy.
I still really like his like 180 head, basically.